Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome in. I'm Matt Stryker, and I'm back with more Yankees Latest. All right, the top pitching prospects list is out, and wouldn't you know it, most are from the National League. McClain for the Mets, Chandler for the Pirates are 1, 2, respectively. And then there is the best American League pitching prospect, number 3 overall. It is Toronto's Trey Savage, and he's here now, right? There's no prospecting, if you will. He is known, if you at the very least watch the postseason of the World Series. The second best American League pitching prospect and sixth overall is Seattle lefty Cade Anderson. So the reason I'm bringing this up is two of our main rivals in the pursuit for a World Series have pitching, and they have pitching coming. Right? When you look at Seattle, all they have is pitching. You look at Toronto, they just added Cease, they added Cody Ponce, they have Bieber, Gosman. I can go on and on. They have pitching, and they have your Savage, Tiedemann. So I wanted to look at ours. I wanted to look at the Yankees, and a name that immediately jumps out is Carlos Legrand, right? Right-handed pitcher, expected to matter in some fashion this season. I don't know how. Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts on if you were the skipper, if you were Booney, what would you do there? 22-year-old, 6'7", right-handed pitcher, has an upper 90s to triple-digit fastball. Like most young flamethrowers, obviously command is going to be an early issue, but that plays right now. Now, most baseball people will tell you that a fastball is great, but if you don't have any secondary stuff, it doesn't really matter. Well, his secondary stuff is really good. 85-mile-per-hour slider, lands consistently for strikes, and that's what's important because these hitters are going to be sitting fastball. And if this guy is touching triple digits or high 99, they're already on their way. That slider sits at 85, and they're watching it, and by the time they realize it's landed for a strike. He also has a cutter and a change that sit in the upper 80s as well. So he's giving you two incredibly different tempos when you're at the plate, and you need to be sharp on that fastball tempo if it's triple digits or even close. That 80-85 stuff in comparison just feels that's where you see major league guys take those like funny swings where they kind of like end up on a knee and stuff, and you realize how off they were and how it's just a nanosecond of a time to decide on what the pitch is and where it's going to be and so on and so forth. So I think that this kid should hit, and when he does, I think he's projected to be a real thing for the Yankees, and I'm glad that we haven't heard his name, at least publicly, in trade talks and things like that, unless it's for a Skubal or a Skeens, dare I say. I don't see how this name would be included. I mean, there are others. There's Cunningham and Beck and Hess and all these guys, and guys working their way back from injury, Hampton and so on. So does this alleviate some of the pitching concern that Yankee fans may have? Comment down below. Because by the summer, we're going to have Cole, Rodon, Fried, and I think with that, I really do think we can compete. And that's really what it's going to all be about, so to speak. All right, speaking of competing, there are more and more teams now with whom we're going to have to compete. The last season, we didn't even blink when they came around. Kirby Yates goes to the Angels' pen. It's a one-year deal, $5 million. Right-handed relief pitcher can and has had success closing. Some of us will remember the 40 save season or 41 save season. Yates will be 39. He's twice an All-Star. Always pitches with a low ERA. All of this, when healthy, of course. But he now joins a bullpen of Jordan Romano, formerly of Toronto, Drew Pomerantz, formerly of everywhere, and Robert Louis Stevenson. His middle name, I don't think, is Louis. I think Robert Louis Stevenson is an author, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember this from school. Gosh, I must be getting up there, folks. My brain is just dumping. But in any event, this makes another team that are much better. And these are the teams that, when they beat us on a summer night all too many times, those are the losses that end up inevitably keeping us out of a position to win this thing. I'm not saying losses to teams like the Angels or the Athletics, who are going to be good and at the very least fun to watch, are going to end the world. But how many are too many? How many then make that nail biter to Baltimore or Kansas City that we lose that much harder and that much more important? You've got to be able to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. To me, that's paramount, because then you can focus all of your intent and all of your talent on beating the teams that we're going to have to beat, again, if any of this makes sense. All right, let's look at a little hodgepodge, if you will, with the MLB. So we now know that the Cubs have have Edward Cabrera. That's cool. I mean, Justin Steele has to come back and be healthy. Imanaga has to be a thing. Other than that, they got Matthew Boyd at the top of the rotation. It doesn't scare me. They do have Ben Brown, another guy that can really throw hard. So Cabrera to the Cubs, fine. Doesn't come to the Yankees, fine. You can talk all about the elbow issues all you want now that he's not linked to the Yankees. So yeah, all right. Now let's talk about Alex Bregman. He's been linked to the Red Sox, the Diamondbacks, and Detroit. I don't buy Detroit because they have that kid Kevin McGonigal coming up, who's everyone's early favorite for American League Rookie of the Year. So I don't see that Detroit would do that. But Boston is, again, another American League East tenant, reportedly with an offer on the table, an offer that Boston feels good about, or about which Boston feels good, for Bregman. And it's reportedly similar to what the Tigers offered Bregman last year. Now, this is a year before McGonigal's true development, which we're in now. And that was 6 years at $171 million. Arizona is still in play. If so, do they keep Marte? What does that team look like then? That would be very interesting. The world would shake in a way, but I think it would be intriguing overall to see. But this is the focus of baseball right now. Bellinger, Tucker's talk about Toronto has heated up exponentially, and it just doesn't look good. And Bellinger's got to come back. It's just plain and simple. He's got to come back. If he doesn't, we're really pushing a rock up a hill. All right, the last thing is that I wanted to get into with everyone is the upcoming NFL games. You guys like football? If you do, comment down below. If you don't, we'll just never do this again. But I want to take a look at the upcoming playoff games, see if there's anything there. There's a bunch. Let's just talk freely. Rams and Carolina. Rams are better and should win that game. The spread reflects that. Although Carolina's been really upstart this year, and I just think it's Bryce Young's size. And I'm not trying to be funny, but sometimes you got to be able to see over the offensive line. If you can't read, and you can't check down as a smaller quarterback, it's not going to be easy. Next is going to be a barn burner, Green Bay and Chicago, Soldier Field, old school, smash mouth football. Gotta love it. I think in order for Green Bay to win this thing, they'll have to bring their best at many things. They'll have to bring their best run defense. Have to bring their best secondary to tighten up on DJ Moore, and lastly, their best navigating that vicious Bears pass defense. What can Jordan Love do there? He has historically protected the ball, but what does he do here? Another game, if you like defense, Steelers and Texans, that's a Monday night game. So if you're a wagerer and you're looking to get back everything you lost, that's why they have the Monday night game. That Texans defense, stingy. It should make it really tough. But if anyone can win a close, low-scoring affair, it's the old man. It's Aaron Rodgers. Why not? That's going to be a fun one. I think the Pats should handle the Chargers. What are the other ones? Buffalo should beat Jacksonville. Buffalo sneaky. It's kind of like one of those second season things. I feel like these crafty teams that have been there, teams with good quarterbacks, they figure, listen, we can jerk around in the regular season as long as we get in and we get in healthy and we get a good little matchup. Teams like Buffalo, teams like the Eagles, they've been here before and they turn it on here. So I think Buffalo should beat Jacksonville, although stranger things have happened. And that Niners-Eagles game, that's where I'm stuck. That's where I want to talk. Comment down below. Let me know what you think there. I mean, after seeing the Niners against Seattle in that last game, although I know it was, I don't want to say it wasn't for anything, because if the Niners would have won that, they'd clear their path. But Seattle's defense was so stingy. The Niners only put up 3 points. And I got to see what they do against the Eagles. I think whomever comes out of that Eagles-Niners game goes pretty far. But it's the Rams and the Seahawks. Kind of, those are the ones you have to go through. But there's another side, too. We'll talk more about it. It's a story for another time. Perhaps next time, right here on Yankees Latest. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And anything happens, we'll talk about it. All right. See ya.